Hey, it's William here, and today I want to let you in on one of the most misunderstood yet powerful opportunities for creating income that never stops flowing: digital real estate. The term sounds futuristic, maybe even confusing, but the truth is simple. Just like physical property generates rent or resale value, digital assets, things like websites, domain names, or even virtual land, can do the same. The twist: some of these strategies will pay you consistently for years, while others are nothing but hype. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which ones are worth your time and which ones are best avoided. So, let's start by clearing the biggest misconception. Digital real estate isn't limited to buying virtual plots in the so-called metaverse. That's one angle, sure, but it's not the foundation of sustainable income. The real gold lies in assets that people already use daily: domain portfolios, cash-flowing websites, and systems that attract attention automatically. Think of them as digital rental properties. But here's the unexpected truth. While many people chase the latest flashy trend, the boring and proven assets often outperform them year after year. Why? Because traffic, trust, and attention are the true currency online. Let me give you an example. A simple website built around a valuable niche, like home workouts, financial planning, or even dog training, acts like a digital storefront. Once it ranks on Google and attracts steady visitors, it can generate income endlessly through ads, affiliate links, or selling digital products. Unlike physical property that requires maintenance, this digital asset can run on autopilot with only small updates. And the return on investment, sometimes far higher than traditional real estate. But here's a question. If it's so powerful, why aren't more people doing it successfully? The answer lies in patience and process, and I'll break that down in just a moment. Before that, let's talk about domain portfolios. Imagine owning the digital equivalent of prime land. Just as a shop on Oxford Street or Fifth Avenue commands high rents, a short, memorable domain name carries value. Investors like Frank Schilling famously built fortunes by simply holding valuable domains until the right buyer came along. Some sold for millions. But you don't need million-dollar sales to win. Even mid-tier domains can fetch steady profits or be leased out for recurring fees. Yet here's the catch. Domain investing requires insight into human behavior, brand psychology, and trends. Without that, you're just squatting on empty land. So, how do you spot the winners? Stay with me, because I'll share a framework for that very soon. Now, what about virtual land in platforms like Decentraland or the Sandbox? This is where hype often overshadows reality. In theory, owning a plot in a digital world could be like owning property in Manhattan: limited supply, growing demand. But here's the problem. Demand for these worlds is fragile and unproven. Unlike websites or domains which people use every day, metaverse land depends on mass adoption that hasn't materialized yet. That doesn't mean it's worthless, but it's speculative, closer to gambling than investing. A report by CoinDesk showed that many plots purchased for tens of thousands of dollars dropped over 80% in value within months. So, if you're chasing passive income, this isn't your foundation. Instead, focus on digital properties with clear utility and proven demand. Let's loop back to websites, because here's where compounding power really shines. Once your site attracts traffic, every new piece of content builds on the last. It's like planting a tree. The first year is slow, but soon you have an orchard. Smart entrepreneurs know this and outsource content creation, turning a site into a self-growing asset. One entrepreneur I studied built a portfolio of small niche sites and sold them for six-figure paydays, while still earning ad revenue along the way. The key isn't luck, it's process. Pick a niche, optimize for search, and layer monetization. Done right, your website becomes a digital property that pays rent every single day. But you might be wondering, how do you actually build one without being a tech expert? The good news is, you don't need to be. Platforms like WordPress or Webflow make it easy, and AI now helps you generate content, headlines, and even SEO strategy. Yet here's the critical insight. Automation is powerful, but Google rewards authenticity. If you blindly publish AI-generated content, you risk penalties. The trick is blending automation with human oversight. Just like a landlord hires a property manager to keep tenants happy, you need to manage your digital property with small touches that prove it's real and valuable. We've now seen how websites and domains can act like cash-flowing rentals, while virtual land leans speculative. But what if I told you there's a way to combine these approaches into a strategy that almost guarantees a long-term income? In just a moment, I'll reveal the overlooked secret that separates digital real estate investors who succeed forever from those who burn out chasing hype. The overlooked secret to digital real estate success is diversification with focus. That might sound contradictory at first, but let me explain. The most reliable investors don't scatter their energy across dozens of random assets. Instead, they master one core strategy, like building niche websites. Then use the income from that to gradually expand into other digital properties. It's the same principle as physical real estate. You don't buy 10 houses on day one. You start with one, manage it well, then roll the profits into your next property. Digital real estate works exactly the same way. Here's a real-world example. An entrepreneur named Mushfiq Sarkar built a single niche website in the personal finance space. Once it gained traction, he reinvested profits into building more sites, eventually creating a portfolio that produced passive income across multiple industries. Some of these sites were later sold for six-figure exits. His story proves that the real power of digital assets is compounding. One property funds the next, and over time, the portfolio pays you indefinitely. But here's the twist. Compounding only works if you avoid the traps. So what are they? The first trap is chasing hype instead of utility. Just like speculative virtual land, many digital investments look flashy but lack staying power. Ask yourself, does this asset solve a real problem or meet a real demand? If the answer is no, it's not a reliable income stream. The second trap is neglecting maintenance. Even though digital properties require less upkeep than physical ones, they still need occasional attention. Domains need to be renewed, websites need security updates, and content needs refreshing. Ignore these basics, and your forever income can dry up quickly. So, how do you set yourself apart from the 90% who fail? Start by focusing on evergreen niches, areas of life that never go out of demand. Health, wealth, relationships, hobbies, education. These are timeless. A site about the latest gadget will fade fast, but a site teaching guitar skills or helping people save money will keep pulling traffic for decades. The key is combining timeless topics with systems that run automatically. That's how you build something that truly pays forever. Now, let's address the big question. How much can you actually earn? The truth is, digital real estate has a wide range of potential. Some websites might make a few £100s a month. Others, especially those that dominate their niche, can bring in thousands every week. A domain you bought for £20 could resell for £5,000 or more if the right buyer comes along. The scale depends on effort, strategy, and patience. But remember, the magic isn't just in earning, it's in stacking. One site plus another, one domain plus another. Over time, you're no longer relying on a single stream of income. You're building a river. But here's the most surprising part. Unlike physical property, digital assets can grow exponentially without proportional cost. A landlord can only own so many houses before maintenance becomes overwhelming. But in the digital world, automation and outsourcing let you scale far faster with less friction. That's why the wealthiest online entrepreneurs often describe websites and domains as digital gold mines. They're not limited by geography, they're accessible to anyone with internet access, and they can be sold or leased just like physical property. So, what's your first move if you want to start? Begin by choosing a niche you genuinely care about, something evergreen. Buy a strong brandable domain. Build a simple website around it, even if it's just a few pages. Start adding useful content. Answers to common questions, guides, reviews. Monetize with affiliate links or ads. Don't overcomplicate it. One solid property is worth more than 10 half-finished ones. And once that property is running, reinvest. Expand into more content, more assets, more opportunities. Think of it as building your own neighborhood of digital properties, each one adding to your passive income. Over time, this digital real estate empire becomes something you can step back from while it keeps paying you, month after month, year after year. So let me leave you with this thought. Digital real estate isn't about chasing the next shiny trend. It's about building assets that people genuinely need and use. Focus on utility, consistency, and compounding growth. Do that, and you won't just earn for a season. You'll create income streams that pay forever. Now I'd love to hear from you. Which digital property would you start with first? A website, a domain, or something else entirely? Drop your thoughts in the comments.